Welcome to Metal Planet, a place where every metal subgenres are celebrated, from mainstream to underground bands. My name is Max Gray. Today I'm gonna present you the new heavy metal and hard rock releases coming out on June 27th, 2025. One of the most anticipated releases of the week is the upcoming Sodom album, The Arsonist. Sodom is a classic formation generally considered to be in the big four of German thrash metal bands alongside Creator, Destruction and Tankard. The Arsonist will be the first Sodom studio record in 5 years. Even though this band has been around for more than 4 decades, its new material still has a potency and a vitality. With The Arsonist, you can hear that the band members decided to go for a vintage sounding production. To me, that sound evokes the band's releases from the late 80s and early 90s, which is nice. If you're familiar with Sodom and the German Big Four, I'm curious to know how would you rank the band compared to the other 3 formations? Would you put Sodom in the top spot or not? Personally, I would put Creator first, but Sodom would be a close second. If you're into doom and traditional heavy metal, you're in for a treat with those 2 albums, Tree by King Witch and The Castle by Johan Langquist. Both of those will feature operatic vocals and quality slow riffing. According to Listenable Records, the third King Witch full-length retains the sound that characterized the band's previous albums, while ramping up the energy and focusing on more concise songwriting. The singer that sings on the second album, Langquist, is known for fronting the legendary doom metal band Candlemass. The music in The Castle is intended to evoke the magic feeling of classic heavy metal and hard rock from the 80s and 70s. This album will appeal to the Candlemass fans, of course, but also to the people who like the Tony Martin era of Black Sabbath. On June 27th, the Nashville-based singer Royale Lynn will release her debut album Black Magic through Epitaph Records. The songs in this release will have an accessible sound with pop vocals, catchy choruses and an emphasis on melodies. The tracks from Black Magic are the kind of songs you could hear on mainstream rock radios. With the album, Lynn wanted to explore her struggle with mental health issues in a narrative interlaced with mythology and fantasy. Inspired by the legend of Pandora's box, each track in the album represents an evil that escaped the box and reached humanity. Death Wish, a really catchy track from this album, notably features a guest appearance by the singer Danny Warsnop of Asking Alexandria. Another big release this week is the upcoming Evan Shall Burn record Heimat. Evan Shall Burn seems to be going from strength to strength with each of its new releases. The band is particularly popular in its home country of Germany, where its last 3 albums reached the top 3 spots in the album's sales chart. The Evan Shall Burn singer Markus Bischoff often sings in English, but sometimes in German too. The band's lyrics often talk about political or social justice issues, but not always. Musically, in Heimat you will find crushing guitar riffs, powerful vocals, and an importance given to the groove. Despite its heaviness, the band has a melodic aspect too. Heimat can be for both fans of melodic death metal and metalcore. Next Friday, 2 compilations by old school metal bands will come out. The first is the Manticore tapes by Motörhead. This release consists of a rehearsal session that was recorded at the Manticore studio in 1976 by the classic lineup of the band featuring Lemmy Kilmister, Fast Eddie Clarke and Phil the Animal Taylor. Almost 5 decades later, the unreleased raw recordings have been dusted off and restored and will finally be made available to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the foundation of Motörhead. The second compilation, Blackened the Priests by Venom, will collect 3 studio albums by the group that were recorded after the singer Kronos left the band in 1987. Those 3 records are Primeval, Temples of Ice and The Wastelands, and they feature the singing of Tony the Demolition Man Dolan, who briefly replaced Kronos in the late 80s and first half of the 90s. I have never heard material from the Tony Dolan era of Venom, but I have been told that it is underrated. With Blackened the Priests, I'll take the occasion to listen to this material for the very first time. If you're familiar with the Tony Dolan era, how would you compare it to the Kronos era? Do you think that the material with Dolan is on par with the material with Kronos? Or do you have a preference between the two? This week I'm eager to listen to the new Inhuman Condition album Mind Trap. The reason is that this band is a death metal supergroup from Florida that features musicians from different bands that I like. In the Inhuman Condition lineup, you have the drummer and singer Jeremy Kling, formerly of Venom Inc., the guitarist Taylor Nordberg of Deicide, and the bassist Terry Butler of Obituary. All killer musicians if you ask me, and I think that their level of musicianship and years of experience transpire in the band's new material. Mind Trap will be a collection of 9 old-school death metal songs. Ultimately, this is not an album that will reinvent the wheel, but the material is well executed for the style. That's why I'm excited to listen to this one. In a couple of days, the deathcore band Shadow of Intent will unleash its 5th studio album, Imperium Delirium. Even though this record will be released independently, the material sounds really professional. Based on the quality of the production, Imperium Delirium could easily be released by a big metal label like Nuclear Blast or Metal Blade. What's cool about Shadow of Intent's music is that it contains the aggressivity and the full throttle intensity that you would expect from a deathcore ensemble, but the band adds extra strings in its compositions. This gives the material a cinematic quality that distinguishes Shadow of Intent from other deathcore bands. TSS, formerly known as the Sunday Sadness, is a band from France known for its genre-blending sound influenced by a lot of different music styles like modern metal, synthwave, alternative rock and emo. In a couple of days, TSS will drop its new record End of Time via Fearless Records. In this release, there will be lyrics sung in both English and French. What strikes me the most with the band's music is the riffing inspired by metalcore and nu metal, and the electronic elements, which gives the song a sound that is both futuristic and retro at the same time. End of Time could appeal to the fans of Bring Me the Horizon and Poppy. In this next round, there are 4 albums from different metal subgenres. The first is Die Close by Blood Vulture. This is the music project of Jordan Olds, the host of the internet metal chat show 2 Minutes to Late Night. Die Close will have an unusual sound, with gritty sludge metal guitars and ghostly gothic metal vocals. The second record, Near Death Travel Services, will be the first Deadguy studio album in 30 years. This title will contain songs blending metalcore and mathcore elements with atypical rhythms and energetic riffing. On June 27th, the singer, guitarist, and drummer Nicklas will also release an album. It is a solo record called Electric Dreams. This release will contain soaring vocals, wordy guitar solos, and uplifting vibes. The album will have a lighter sound compared to the majority of the other albums presented today. The fourth record is probably the most brutal album for this week. It is Morbid Ataraxia by the Italian death metal band Putridity. The material in this one will be brutal as hell and can be for the people who like bands like Defeated Sanity and Ophiolatry. The Metal Planet album of the week, the record from today's list that I recommend the most, is a black metal album named Unholy Trinity. This title recently catched my attention because of its cool album cover with the wraith-like figure, the three-headed dragon and the gothic castle in the background. Even though I had never heard of the band Lord Belial before, this album seemed promising. When I took the time to listen to the album's tracks that have been released so far, like Ipse Venit and The Whore, I wasn't disappointed. The songs I listened to are quality black metal cuts that are direct and to the point, with a good production for that metal subgenre. The Lord Belial guitarists make good use of the tremolo picking technique, and the songs have a mysterious aura that fits well with the album cover. I'll definitely add this album to my listening list. If you're into black metal that is not too underground, I doubt you will be disappointed with this one. So those are the titles for this week. If you found this video useful and plan to listen to an album presented today, hit that like button and subscribe to the Metal Planet channel to stay up to date on the new heavy metal and hard rock releases coming out each week. Let me know what are going to be your picks among the albums presented today. In addition to the album of the week, I'm excited to listen to multiple records presented today, like the new Sodom, Inhuman Condition, Shadow of Intent, TSS and Venom albums. For a more complete list of the titles coming out on June 27th, check the description section of this video. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!